Hey, welcome to your video consultation on how to convert a van or school bus into a home to become nomadic, live off grid, and become a digital nomad and make money online.
Yes. So in this first video, we are going to be talking about the top things that you need to know before getting started.
So, the first thing you need to think about is how serious am I about doing this? Before you buy a van or buy a school bus and start converting it into a home for yourself, you want to ask yourself, how serious are you really about making this happen for yourself? Because it's going to take some work, it's going to take a little time, it's going to take some maneuvering, it's going to take some mental and some spiritual development to get through this. So just before you start, say, am I ready to do this for myself?
Yeah, which leads into the second point. It requires a lot of dedication and commitment, and that is something that you have to know before you get started as well. It's definitely a big project to undertake, and it is a lifestyle change. So you have to just know that this is something you're going to have to prepare yourself for as you get started in this journey.
And the next thing you need to think about is that not everybody is into this lifestyle. So not everybody is going to really agree with you when you decide to live in a van or a school bus. You might have family members, you might have a significant other, you might have people around you who are like, what are you doing? That's insane. Don't do that. Here, get another place. Do what we do. We're doing what everybody's doing. And you really want to do this. So that might, mess with you a little bit. So you really have to think about and not think about it too much, but just kind of know that people are not always going to be on your side when you decide to do something like this. So that's something you have to think about, because that's something you will have to deal with as you go through the process of building a home into a van or a school bus.
Yeah, which I guess the bigger point to that is know that this is something that is possible to do, whether that's legally or just, in terms of how feasible it is in your life. It's definitely something that's possible. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with those, with the naysayers. Which leads to the next point. You have to know how to adapt and how to improvise when it comes to this, okay? So that is going to hold true from the very beginning all the way to the end. So whether you're dealing with really funny angles in your design and you've got to, improvise on how you make your cuts, or whether that is just like, adapting and improvising when it comes to how you move or how you find places to stay or where you park. You have to be willing to roll with the punches, because this is an exciting journey, and there's always going to be some new sort of adventure that you have to figure out how to maneuver around.
That's right. And with that being said, you will have to kind of learn how to blend your life with nature. Van life, schoolie life is also nature life, meaning if you live in a van, then you'll be going places, you'll be parking places, but you'll be outside a lot of the times. So you want to be ready for outdoors activity, for hiking, for surfing, for things of that nature. You want to kind of plan your life in that way, instead of planning like you would live in a regular house where you would just be in one spot forever. When you live in a van or a school bus, you could think about the weather outside. It's too cold, you can go here. So you want to start developing a relationship with nature and the world around you, which will help you immensely when you are living in a school bus or a van.
Yeah. And I think that also, you have to know that this is also something that's going to make you a little more environmentally aware. Like I said, this is a big lifestyle change. So things that you haven't had to think about necessarily before, like your water consumption or what you do with your trash and all of those things, that also goes into the schoolie and the van life lifestyle. So that's something that you just have to know before you jump into it.
Yes, you definitely want to be aware of everything, including things like the law. So
Yes.
you want to look up the laws in your state where you live specifically, so that when you are going about your process of converting a school bus or a van, that it is legal where you live, and that the space that you're doing it at the county you're in, you want to know all of those different laws. So there are so many different laws in America and throughout the world, wherever you're watching this video. So it's on you to really look that up, to call the people, to talk to the people. My suggestion is you don't be scared of it, okay? So what most people do is they say, I don't care about that. That's not why I'm doing it. And then they kind of turn a blind eye to it and don't do their research on it, or they don't think they're ready to. Or, when you talk about law, it scares people in a way to say, if I do it wrong, I can have consequences. But don't think about it that way. Call your local offices, call your local whoever. People are more willing to talk to you and help you than you think. So it's up to you to make those calls, make those connections, and get that information and that knowledge for yourself.
Definitely. And there are a lot of different things that go into knowing the law when it comes to living in a converted vehicle, which we will do a separate video on that as well. But I think the overarching thing to take away from this is that, yes, it is legal to convert a vehicle into a home. It is legal to even live in your vehicle. The different discrepancies come into play when you're talking about insurance, whether or not it's legal to live full-time in a motorhome, which we will discuss when it comes to registration, and then also your parking laws. So we're going to be talking more about that in another video, but that is the conclusion of our first video, the things you need to know before you get started. So stick around and we will be back with video number 2.
Go to video number 2 right now for the second part of this video consultation.